What is going on, guys? This is PVZ Fabmaster, and today we are repairing some more strategy decks from PopCap. This is one where I actually have all the cards for Mushroom Might, but we're gonna freaking edit it around anyway. There's definitely some things that could be fixed up around here. So, first of all, these things are kind of they're circumstantial. You really only want them in like a full-fledged rush deck, and I'm not sure if this is a full-fledged rush deck. There's no real beans or anything to go along with it. This is a full-fledged mushroom deck, so we're going to treat it as such. So, I mean, this is still very good with your Astro Shroom here, so, well, I mean, if we're going to treat this like a full-fledged mushroom deck, then we want mushrooms in it. That environment that we just got rid of is really good with if you have Admiral Navy being along with it, but since this is a mushroom deck, we're going to treat it as such. So we're going to add this, and get rid of this. This is very similar to the Solar Flare variant, only we're using Sporticus instead of, what's it called? Instead of, what's that name of the card that I'm looking for? Sunshroom. So Sporticus instead, basically. That's a lot of threes, though. Maybe, well, we still want that for card draw. So maybe instead, well, I'll tell you what. Add a few Planet of the Grapes, actually. We're going to add a few Planet of the Grapes for some extra card draw and even out the curve a little bit more. And basically you need 3 Foom Shrooms and that ought to finish out the deck for you. So fairly similar to the version I created for the Solar Flare Mushroom strategy. It's still quite similar here. 5 environments, some for mushrooms, some for card draw. There's your card draw too. This combined with this could be very good. So that's my mushroom strategy deck. It's the Mushroom Madness. There you go. Just need 3 Foom Shrooms if I had them. That's how I'd finish that deck out. There you go. Next we have a berry deck. Now I'm very inexperienced berry player because even though Sergeant Stromberry is a set 1 card, I only have set 1 card. I only have 1 of them, and I don't really plan on crafting more of them because it's not that good of a card. But anyway. The environments here are very inconsistent. This deck's a mess. It's a little bit of a mess, so. You know what? Okay. Thinking about what to do about this. So I could see that this would work very well with maybe this, as you could, whenever a card in there does damage, it draws a card. Oh, it hurts the zombie here. What am I thinking? So, you know, that could actually still be very good, though, because Sergeant Stromberry combined with that environment, I could see that doing extra damage. So, we're going to want at least 2 more of these. It is a berry, but there's no real berry synergy unless you get it from this thing right here. So, yeah. This is actually a berry, by the way. It's a berry environment, as you can see. I have knowledge of this game. So, maybe 2 more of these. These are too dependent on RNG. I don't like it. This is actually quite good. Maybe we can make this a freeze hybrid. No, I don't like it. What else would be good in a berry deck? Have card draw, we have this, we have that. Look at more berries. I have recycled some of my berries because I don't like them that much. Like these 2 that I recycled, I'm not a big fan of either of those cards, but they actually might be good in a berry deck. I think especially Sour Grapes would be good with this, but it's way too circumstantial. It's a 4-cost 2/2 that does 1 damage to everything. And when it does 3 damage to everything, obviously it's a lot better with this on the board, but it's just, I don't know, it relies too much on circumstance for me. It relies too much on fortunate circumstances. So, I don't even know if any of these other berries are any good. Maybe this, I think this is very good with Sergeant Stromberry, just great field clear there, so. The rest we gotta worry more about the earlier games, so. What would be good in this deck? What would be good for this kind of deck? I'm really wondering. Oh boy. So I take it that berry decks are kind of, with this and this, they're kind of, this and that, they're kind of fast-paced, so maybe we need some more aggressive cards. Or, you know what I'm saying. I like this. This could fit quite well in it, actually. Now we just need 3 more of these, and, well, put in a 4th one of this environment, why not? So here's my variant. I'm not an experienced berry deck player, so I'm sure this could be much improved, but basically add 3 more of these strong berries, and there's your berry deck for Nightcap. I mean, I don't know if it's that great, but I think it's alright. It's alright. I think this good combination. Should I craft these right now? I'm not gonna craft them. No, it's a waste. I don't care about Sergeant Strawberry. It's a waste. It's a waste of my sparks. There, up. Oh, I accidentally created another deck. Go away. So anyway, get rid of that. Next we have the RNGesus deck, I believe. Swarm and Transform. This is not how you do RNGesus, so we're gonna help them out a little bit. So let's have them properly RNGesus here. So, oh boy, where do I even start here? Yes. Seedling is a great RNGesus card, you gotta admit it, so keep that in there. They have this as card draw, so not necessary to have that there. No, it's not a mushroom deck, this is an RNGesus deck. And if this is to be a full-fledged RNGesus deck, we need lots of RNG, so. First thing I'm gonna do, conjure. No. Conjure. That's not a lot of conjuring. I think we've gotten to a lot of the conjuring here, huh? I tell you what, this is probably going to be a Pineclone Molecule deck. I can see that a lot of these earlier minions are kind of weak, so what we're going to do is add 2 of these. I don't have 4 Molecules, I only have 2, so you'll need those for this kind of deck, I think. This is a full-fledged Swarm and Transform, so you start off, well, you want your Berry Blast for the early game, especially combined with Mr. High Voltage Current. So there's some RNG in the early game. I don't know if this is very good, if it's not a bean deck. So I want this to be a fun RNGesus deck, but also to be successful. So Pineclone Molecule can help you achieve that. Is Grotto actually good here for Pineclone? I think that's the environment we're gonna add. We're gonna add 3 Grottos. We're gonna... do we even add these? I don't know. Swarm and Transform. Now, you might also want 4 Dandelion. Well, I mean, it's not a control Dandelion King deck, so... Huh. I'm kind of stuck. What do I do for this RNGesus deck? How do we make the RNG be fabulous? Alright. Maybe we do end up putting some beans in here. So this is really the swarm part of the Swarm and Transform, if you get what I'm saying. So... yeah, I like this. Alright, so I actually put in a 4th Grotto. Imagine I had 2 Molecules here, and this would be your deck. And if you're wondering why there's so few beans with Admiral, this just gives you another bean, and this also gives you more beans, so I'm actually quite... and this could even give you some beans too, so I'm actually quite okay with that. So that's... if you have any criticisms about the lack of beans for this bean deck, refer back to what I just said. And Molecule Pine Clone, I like it. So yeah, that's my RNGesus deck. There you go. And this relies on RNG. This relies on RNG. This does, and this does. So. And this, so it's an RNG deck. It's also swarmy with all these little minions, so I definitely maybe want to keep that around. That might be a fun deck to play with, I should say. Do you have any set 3 cards in here? No, not really. Ah, then screw it, whatever. No set 3 cards, so boring. But there you go. They didn't give a whole lot of conjuring. Well, actually, they gave this thing, so maybe that would be good. So anyway, Face Blaster. All right, here we go. So here's we go into the full-fledged swarm Neptuna with all your Planet of the Grapes and such. Now, I don't know about this. I do know about this. This is the deck where I think Mr. Puffshroom is actually appropriate because you just want to rush the face. You want to rush the face like crazy here. So, as a matter of fact, there isn't much I'd change with this deck. Is this literally a deck where you just have a bunch of 1s and 2s? Well, I don't know if this is appropriate. It's not a berry deck. This, you might want Pine Clones instead. You want Pine Clones as a finisher in case, just in case with this kind of deck. And this, you definitely want 4 of these, I think. But here's what I do actually. Is there any 3s I'd want in this deck? I don't think so. No. So you want 3 more Lima Pleurodons, and then I think that's how you do this deck. Not much I change here. This is a very good strategy deck, I think. Very good strategy deck, just a few minor little changes I made, but I think Pine Clone you really need as a finisher. Because you do have a bunch of little minions that could turn into this 3-3 in case the game goes on a little further, I think. Pine Clone would be a much better finisher here than Sonic Bloom, so that's how that works. And yeah, Face Blaster 9000, pretty solid strategy deck from PopCap. Not many changes I'd make at all, except for those changes that I just made. So there you go. And we'll get rid of that. Finally, Evolved Fisticuffs. So this is an evolution deck. This is a set 3 deck. This looks pretty good so far. So I see the main thing you do with this deck is obviously evolve things off your little minions. So what we're going to do here is, I don't get why that's there. So this is good. You want more of these. Obviously I think more of those are in the deck. I really like this actually. This is a pretty solid deck so far. But we need some 4s and 5s. I think if we're going to make this a full-fledged evolution deck, maybe. Need some beans. I like it. Alright, so now these are kind of unnecessary at this point. And this could be your environment for you can imagine this next to this. It'd be a 5-3. That'd be pretty, or 5-2, I guess, with the hot lava, but that would be pretty good. This could really boost up the attack of your little minions here. And this evolves off of this and this. I like it. Maybe this needs some 5s. I don't know. This is sort of your finisher for this deck, I suppose. So I like it. There's a lot of evolution here. Pretty good deck. There you go, crisp and clean. All you need is 3 more of this and you're good to go here. So that's what I do for the Nightcap Set 3 Evolution deck. So there you go. Next we're going to do one more hero today. I usually like to do 2. We're going to do Captain Combustible. I only have 1 deck for him. I don't know what some of them must have gone away. Alright, so pair up. So this is a Pair Paradise deck. Okay, well, what do I even do with this deck? I'm not used to playing this kind. I think it's a deck where you sort of buff your muscle sprout by playing lots of mushrooms around it. So, and if that's the case, we're gonna want our grottos here to be all over the place. to buff up our... Now I don't know what this Torchwood's doing here. Get rid of that. Tell you what's good in this deck. Maybe not 4 of them, but... Okay, so actually for a few obligatory Umbrella Leafs, a few obligatory Berry Blasts. Maybe get rid of these. These are good to swarm up your board. Now, if this is going to be... This is sort of your Captain Combustible Swarm deck, so if there's mushrooms... If there is mushrooms, you want your buff shroom as well, so... To go along with all your mushrooms, buff them up nice and good. I like these, I guess. These are good for anti-Trek-idness. I guess I'll keep them in the deck. Maybe... bonus attacks. And, I don't know. Get rid of these, maybe. This. Gotta have the Bananasaurus Rex in here, I think. That would be quite good. Any card draw that might go along with the Bananasaurus Rex here? You know what? Why not add a few of these banana peels? I think they could really help your muscle sprouts and all your big minions attack. So I never really run that card, but I'm going to run a few of these. And then you just need 2 more Bananasaurus Rexes. So we're going to go full-fledged pop cap here and add a few freaking banana peels to our deck. But there you go. That's how I do the whole muscle sprout, you know, sort of rush deck with Captain Combustible. So there you go. There's my ridiculous deck where I threw in a couple of banana peels. It is completely bananas, as that strategy deck right here suggests. So here we have Poison Powerhouse, which is an aggro-ish deck. Lots of anti-hero minions, so there you go. They give a boost to Potted Powerhouse when played in empty lanes. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Let's have well, if we're gonna have Potted Powerhouse pop cap, I see a lot of changes I already need to make to this. So if we're gonna have Potted Powerhouse pop cap, first of all, get rid of these. It's not a very good card. But these two, we're gonna go with the whole anti-hero theme here. We don't want to take too much away from PopCap's general theme for this deck. But we are going to need some bonus attacks for that sucker right there. And obligatory Berry Blasts. Obligatory Lily of the Valleys. And hey, well, what you actually might... Well, we need environments, actually, so... What environments would work with this deck? That is the question. Captain Combustible doesn't exactly have great environments. We might add 3 of these, and Bananasaurus Rexes aren't actually super great here. Add a few repeat mosses just cuz. So there you go. You have another win condition besides Potted Powerhouse. So add a few repeat mosses. Why not? This is also kind of a win condition, I guess. So these can buff your Potted Powerhouses. Well, you don't really need 3 of these, actually. So what we're going to do, we don't need really 3 of these to deal with Toxic Waste Imp. We don't need these at all. We have these, actually. We don't necessarily need those. We have Berry Blast to deal with Mr. Toxic Waste Imp here. So what we're actually going to do here is... this, and add a 4th Berry Blast, and if you add another one of these environments, I'd recommend using it for this. So there you go. That's how I do Poison Powerhouse with the full-fledged this, and this is your big win condition. Lots of anti-hero plants early to rush, plus Lily and Grow Shroom, very good. So that's how I do it. That is how I do things for the Poison Powerhouse strategy deck. Oh, there we go. Get rid of this. And repeat after me. So here's like a big repeat moss, Bananasaurus, big thing deck here. So lots of you really would want party time for this sort of deck, but I recycled them. I was a bad boy and I recycled a pretty solid card, so I mean, let's see what I could do about this. I think it's a bit of a mess, so if we want a good repeat moss deck, we need to be a little more organized. So, what kind of tricks would be good in a repeat moss deck? This is the kind of deck where you run great power. Now this is not updated for set 3, I don't think, so get rid of this. You might want 4 of these as a matter of fact, but I only have 3. Want bonus attacks, you really want bonus attacks for your repeat moss. This is a tempo repeat moss deck, let's just put it like that. This is tempo repeat moss at its finest. We're gonna make it tempo repeat moss at its finest, which means muscle sprouts, which means, what else does this mean? This. Nope. This. A few of these to prevent tricks. Want 4 of those, really. Especially because this draws you a card. Since I love these, just having a crisp, clean deck, as I like to call it, just imagine that I had 2 more of these and 1 more of this, and that would be a repeat moss deck. Literally, that would be all you need. This would be your card draw to help activate this, and the frickin' great responsibility that you get. Activate this very well, and Berry Blast also would help that out a little bit, and then from there on out, it's just tempo, 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 tempo. Just get ahead on the board. Play these 2 as your finishers, and there you go. That is your very finely refined strategy deck for repeat moss. Captain Combustible. I'm actually going to keep that around. That's the kind of deck that I want. So next we have Interplanetary Exploration, which I think is just a deck with this freaking stupid card right here. Invasive Species. So it's an environment deck for your frickin' this deck's so bad that I don't even want to do it. Completely bananas. So here is, you always wondered why they said you've gone bananas. Now you know. Oh boy, because I'm playing a PopCap strategy deck. That is why I've gone bananas. So anyway, protect your banana launcher, and it will fill your hand with banana bombs. Combine them in great power to unload a devastating repeat moss combination. So here is your set 3 strategy here, and so this is kind of okay. So this is control Captain Combustible. From the early game, I could see with banana launcher and banana bombs and frickin' banana peel and all your stupid bananas, and this thing right here. So this is a Captain Combustible banana deck, but actually we're gonna try and I think what they're trying to go for here is control Captain Combustible. Like literally, that is actually what they're trying to go for in a way. So in order to do that, I mean, what is it? I guess the card draws for Bananasaurus Rex, but come on, with Captain Combustible, that turn 6 is too slow, so here's what we're gonna do here. I don't like these. This and this, I can understand. I can understand that you want to control the early game, so you want to protect those with your Umbrella Leaf. Get rid of these. You want another great power for your repeat moss, so it's all about control early. So I don't know why the lilies are here. We're going to try and control them early. I could see that that's kind of the theme with this deck, so what you want is actually this thing. This is control Captain Combustible here. I'm not kidding. That is an actual thing, apparently. So here you want more of, here you want more of, you want 4 of all these, basically. You want 4 of this, 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 and this, so I don't really have a lot for this deck that I could write home about, which kind of sucks, but whatever. Bananasaurus Rex is a very good card. You want your Bananasaurus Rex. I'll put it that way. We're going to actually put a 4th Berry Blast in here. This is control Captain Combustible, like I said. Sounds wild, but it is true. We are playing control Captain Combustible. Now, what kind of environments would be good in this deck? I feel like I might have neglected to put environments in some of these just because Captain Combustible doesn't have very good environments, like I've said. But actually, if we want to finish them off well, this is what we need to do. And we actually are going to put these bamboozles in here. Since this is a control Captain Combustible, you actually do want maybe some 6 drops in the frickin' deck. So, is this actually the way you want this deck? You just want 4 copies of all of these? I think that might be the way you want to finish this deck off. I mean, this could evolve off of this or this. This is just, oh, this is Leafy Evolution, right? No, it's just Plant Evolution. Alright, that's good. So, that's Plant Evolution. Evolve it off of one of these two. Frickin' Great Power, one of these, you know, this. Control Captain Combustible, man, with this thing. This is actually your environment. I forgot about that. So, actually, we don't need these, or do we? Is that actually good? Is that actually good? No, I like Great Power better. So, actually, what we might want instead is... bonus attacks. I feel like bonus attacks would still be pretty good with all your later minions. So this is Control Captain Combustible. I'm not sure how this deck would work at all. I think it's actually not that great, but maybe I'm going back and forth between this frickin' environment and that thing, but I don't know if this deck would be that great, but here it is. It's completely bananas, as the title suggests. So just have 4 copies of all those things, and then you're good to go. So that is how I do that deck, I guess. Probably have some thinking over to do, but, you know, probably needs more revisions, is what I should be saying. But anyway, this is PVC Fat Master. Bye-bye.